Hi everybody. I have to remake this video. I made it the other day, and when I went to go uh, process it and correlate the video and everything, I didn't have enough space, so I had to delete some other stuff, and I deleted the video I made. That was brilliant. So I have to redo it, and that's okay. I need time to rethink about stuff a little bit and reword it. So my main point is going to be it's time for us all to arise from our slumber and embrace the day. Time to get your coffee, smoke your morning cigarette. It's time to jump up, put your feet on the floor. It's time to wake up. Everybody needs to do that. Everybody that hears this, everybody that you know, you can tell them it's time. The time is running very, very short right now. There's lots going on in the world. It's a lot of important things are occurring. A lot of things that we need to address. It's very time is short, like I said. So I'm going to address one thing that's been going on, and I'm sure everybody has noticed it in the past couple of months. It's kind of just kind of ramped up a little bit, and that's all the going on. You know, I put that in cursive writing for a reason. Probably backwards on there, but it's the it's been going on. People go places with um, uh, with certain things, and then they use those certain things to disrupt the places that they go to, and then like law enforcement has to come and deal with it. I know what I'm getting across to you. And trying to not say a lot of these the trigger words for the AI and avoid that kind of stuff. And the freest countries that we're in, we got to can't say certain words because the bot, the bot, constantly listening to everything. Um, so yeah, those the people that would go there with those pieces of metal, and they throw other pieces of metal at people. You know, I have a theory on that, and it's kind of a little bit different take on it because if you notice in the past just a couple months here, there's been like a very large increase in uh, the mass event type of ones, and I don't believe that's organic. Was what I would say to that. Um, I don't think that these things occur organically. Um, it makes no sense to me that people would just one day they're sitting there and they decide, oh, I think that I want to go and do something that's probably going to cause myself to be unalive, and I want to do the same to others, and then I want that to happen to me, and then they go to places that are full of um, defenseless type of places, that are very soft and easy. Usually not going to offer a lot of resistance for that. So if you notice, there's been quite an uptick just in the past 2 months. And we'll go back to that one with the person who doesn't know exactly which restroom to use. That one, it was in Kentucky, I believe, or Tennessee, and it's very odd. I thought about that one. Several odd things about that one. That that person, um, they went in there with with a lot of ability to inflict damage on individuals, and they had a whole bunch of extra ability with them as well. Um, but for some reason, they only used six of them, and out of two uh, thing that you put the end that goes into the other piece of metal that makes the metal go out. They can hold like 30 pieces of metal in there, and so why would that person only use 6 pieces of metal and 6 people that got some metal? Six of them. It's a little bit odd, I think, that they would do that. Like when you have all that extra metal to to do what you're going to do. And, another thing is that the writings of that person have still not been released for the public to know the thought process behind what they were doing, which seems a little bit wrong that the public has not been, because they've come out with everything else real quick on that and then tighten up on that one. So they're kind of, why is that something they're keeping back? Is there something against the agenda or the narrative that doesn't go with it? I mean, by holding it back like that, they add to any kind of a conjecture and speculation that may not be correct. And so that's kind of not very, unless they want to generate that kind of thing. Do they want to generate this misinformation narrative, and people think whatever they want about this, because that's what they're doing by not releasing the writings of that person, is letting people speculate, and speculation leads to everything. And I could be totally wrong about it, man. But they, to me, you go in there with the intent to do as much chaos as you can, and to only use 6 pieces of metal, and with all that extra metal left over, just really doesn't make sense to me. And then when the law enforcement arrived, and they were able to subdue the subject rather quickly without any kind of actual any kind of back and forth going on with that. It seems very strange to me. Like that person might seem like they maybe changed what their mind in the mid of what's going on. I don't know. But like I say, I don't think that this is organic. And what I mean by that is that I think that people are being, I'll just say it. We've all heard of MK Ultra, right? These people, I don't think it's organic. I think that these people are kind of wound up and pointed in a direction, and and then they march to what the destination is, and they all have the very expensive metal devices with very expensive metal things that go in them. Those are expensive. They're well over $1 a piece, and the other thing that holds them, and those things are like $1,500, and that's base price. Those are not cheap. They're not cheap at all. And so you talked about, like, a while back, the Uvalde kid, if you recall, they said he had 2 of that one that they always keep, the same one, the one that they keep talking about. He had 2 of those, and he had another smaller waistband type of thing that he had, and those are $1,500 a piece, and then the other waistband thing is like $800 for that one. So where does an 18-year-old kid get that kind of money? And then, and that's not to mention the things that go in it, those other pieces of metal that are over $1 a piece for those. So that gets expensive pretty quick, and you got an 18-year-old kid. I couldn't afford one of those right now, or hardly ever. That's $1,500. You buy a used car for that kind of money. He had 2 of those. 18. It doesn't add up to me. We hear all the time about these terrorism type attacks that are caught by the FBI or something, and then we find out that it was because the FBI had basically found these people online or something, and they kind of befriended them, and and talk to them and everything, and pretend like they're with the same cause, and then they arrest them as they're going to do something. Basically they set people up to like go and detonate something somewhere, or whatever. And they've done it with these mass incidents as well. They've done that, but sometimes maybe there's not the FBI getting involved with just setting them up kind of a thing. Maybe it's more of another alphabet type agency that's already has these people in the pipeline, and they just they just keep going along with it, and then they just, like I said, they wind them up and they point them in the direction they need them to go into, and there you go. And then whatever happens, happens. And and maybe there's something about that those writings of that one person that maybe has some kind of something they don't want the public to see because of something like that. I'm speculating, of course. I have no idea. I don't know anything. I have no idea about anything of that. But there's just so much. But there's so many of these, and there's just another one in Texas. Was it yesterday, I believe, and at a mall, and that was another 8 individuals were unalived, and then of course the person that went there was also unalived as well, and so and that's just like the 4th, 5th one in the past month. So it's really, really, it's very, really. It's all of a sudden we have 5 of these in or more in a month or so, and why? I don't believe that's organic. People just decide, let's go do this all of a sudden, and why would they do that? It makes no sense, especially to people that they don't know, and just there's no point in it, and that's what makes it's nonsense. I believe it's nonsense. I believe it's not organic. I believe it's a plan. It's a way that they're doing things. I believe it's part of their agenda to take those things away from the citizens because of what their plans are. And I believe that their plans are nefarious, and they have long-term goals, and having those things in the hands of the citizens it impedes their goals, and they can't really. It makes it real hard for them to do what they want to do without issues, and they're not just going to come knocking on people's doors and demanding that they just hand over these things because they know that's not going to fly. So they have to do it a different way. All right, had a little quick edit there. Getting phone calls. I have an issue going on, trying to work through, but it's okay. Anyway, what I'm trying to say is you're seeing more and more of these things. They're occurring more frequently, and of course, every time that these things happen, the administration harps on and on about the control thing, and that's more and more, and they're pushing that more and more and more, and it just seems very odd to me that just all of a sudden there's a bunch of them, and they want to push for the control thing on and on and on, and it's obvious what they're attempting to do. So people out there, you need to understand this is not an issue of a tool. Tools don't hurt people. No hammer has ever jumped up and smashed a person's finger all on its own. We're all aware of this. And hammers that cost $1,500, younger people don't usually tend to buy hammers that are that expensive, and or at all. I mean, it's very. How many people are all of a sudden all these people want to be carpenters, and it's very odd. Then the one person was a confused person, and then this other person, they haven't released anything about that person yet, and the person that was after that was also a confused person. So a lot of these people are confused people, which is strange, don't you think? That there's something going on with that. There's something going on with that, and they don't want to correlate those things together. But I think that there's more to it. There's a whole. Why is there so many of these people that are confused all of a sudden too? All of a sudden, there's a lot of people that are confused. Do you think that has anything to do with that that one app? It's it's people are like copycatting that thing on the app, and I don't think the other thing, the mask thing, is not. I don't think that's I don't think it's a copycat issue. Because people don't just decide that. If we didn't have this going on before, that one that flower, that vining flower they called, it was in Colorado, I believe. Everyone, this kind of stuff didn't go on. It is just this is I wouldn't call it a new phenomenon. I would call it a new um, planned thing. That somebody's, like I said, somebody is winding these people up, and they're sending them on their way like little automatons to do this, so that to support their agenda, to push what their control that they want to have for their other agendas. And we need to wake up. We need to wake up to what this administration, this regime is. They don't have the interest of America at heart at all. And if you believe so, you're a foolish individual. If you're hating on Donald Trump and all that stuff still, and then you're a foolish individual. This regime of the old creeper has done nothing but destroy this country, and that's his goal: is to destroy this country, to bring it down to its knees. His first day in office, he signed 40 plus executive orders, which basically undid everything that Trump had done, for one, and just hobbled us when it comes to energy production and self-sufficiency. Made sure that we can't drill on public lands or speculate, or new leases can't be put out, or just a myriad of things. The Keystone Pipelines, we all know, was a shutdown production. Of course, the border wall, other things, many other things that have, we got an open border now. The Title 42 things are going to come to a close, coming to an end here shortly, and then we're going to flood these people. Do you realize that 80,000 children are missing as come across that border? Like over 250,000 have come across the border for various unaccompanied ways, and 80,000 of them, 80,000, 80,000 of them are unaccounted for. We don't know where they're at. That's troubling. I think that's troubling. And our administration is doing nothing about it. They've been soft on the border completely. They're putting them on planes and letting them go wherever they want in the country. Basically, here's a little thing to go to court on, and these people don't even have to show up. I mean, by the time that they get around to the court, I have so many of them that, it's absolutely ridiculous. This regime is about flooding our borders, flooding our country with illegals, diluting the population here, and who knows what about the kids. They're not. If they're lucky if they're like working in a packing house or something after midnight, cleaning up the kill floors or something. They'll be lucky in that case. If and more likely there's other more disturbing things that these kids could be possibly being used for. The traffic type of thing. And unfortunately that's the reality of this world. And unfortunately, I think there's some things in this regime are they might have a little bit of involvement, something like that list from that island that they don't want to release. I think that's something that's pretty important. And if you have ever watch that video by Steven Crowder called "Creep," which is the song. I can't remember what other band does it. Song "Creep." He has a joke song about it, and it's worth watching. It's pretty funny, and it gives you a good perspective on that creep in the White House. Yeah, you know his name. Um, so just check that video out. You might find it amusing. But I mean, he's been covered up for, and everybody's looked the other way for him for so long that it's you sit and watch it and you wonder, why is this being, how does this happening? I mean, why is nobody saying nothing about this? You know, it's astounding, astonishing that nobody says anything about this, and it just, you know, whatever, just creepy old Joe, you know, it's okay that he's, you know, just, you know, he's a foul creature. Um, anyway, I was at a video I want to make. I just want to make it. I'm imploring you all to wake up. We need to wake up, and we're coming up to this another election, which previously, you know how I feel about the elections now. You can call me a denier, I guess. That's fine. I deny the last election. I think that it's. I think it was hokey a little bit, yeah, a little hokey. And so we need to pay extra vigilant attention to this next one on that, and we'll kind of see on that. But you know, I don't. I mean, he's, you know, Creepy says he's running again, so, you know, and the way that this went the last time around, you know, they've dogpiled on Trump so badly at this point that, you know, what are you gonna do? And there's just, if we don't change the course of this place very rapidly, like before the next election, we need to do something. If something isn't done, then you can kiss it goodbye. This is going to be the end of it. Our country is teetering on the edge of complete and total anarchy, chaos, destruction at this point. We're losing the petrodollar. We're losing the good graces of the world. We're losing the respect of the rest of the world. You know, because now we got the adult in charge, so, you know, they're so respecting of him. You know, Captain Diapers there. So wake up, people. You need to wake up and get, you know, whatever you got to do. This is time to wake up. No more. We don't have any time left for this nonsense. You need to stand up and make your voice heard about the whole social justice people, about the culture wars. If you're a conservative and you believe in God and liberty and freedom of speech and freedom of the press and all those things, you need to stand up now. It's time to stand up for our rights and demand them from big tech platforms like Tube. Even though I don't have the speech like this, I want this message to get out, so I have to choose my words. I can't use certain words because I don't want this message to get taken off. I've said things before about that whole 2 years thing that just went by, and I said it was you know, I said it was something that was contrived in, you know, so many ways, like a hoax, you know. I said it was one of those kind of things, and they wouldn't let the video because of that reason. So you can't, you know, freedom of speech needs to be, you should be able to say anything. That's what was meant to be, consenting voices as well as agreeing voices. We're supposed to have an open dialogue and discussion about everything, but right now, this very vocal left wing is not letting that. They're shouting you down, screaming you down, bigoting you down, calling you names and everything else to make you shut up and go with their agenda. And their agenda is pure, unadulterated evil, what they want to do and what they are doing. And we have to say no to it. In no uncertain terms, no. We're not gonna play your name game. No, we're not gonna affirm you. No, we're not gonna agree with you. No, we're not gonna let it be done to children. We're not gonna do any of this stuff. That's what we have to say. That's what we're gonna do. Just no. And that's not negative. It's not violent. It's not aggressive. It's just, we will not conform. We will not comply with your nonsense. Okay? Take your nonsense and go home. Simple as that. Nobody's trying to stop you from doing whatever you want to do. Don't try to push it on us. Don't try to push it on children. Simple as that. That's all we're saying. So, no. Wake up, people. Okay.